Welcome to episode number 273 of the Keep Up Podcast.
We're the soda that you forgot at that party one time. I almost didn't make that one, Brett.
Do you have a story behind that?
No, but like when you go to parties and you have a drink, they always get lost.
Don't say peas that hard, dude.
When you go to a party and have a purple pooping purple.
Oh my God. Dude, that is a nightmare. You're turned down for the rest of life.
No!
Look at that.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Why aren't you talking about the purple penguin?
Stop it!
Poopy pee-pee party.
Literally muted.
Muted. There's no hope.
Oh, now I gotta find the level again.
Wow. I can't believe you adjust. Dude, just control undo.
I can't. It's a knob.
Oh, see?
Why did I do this?
Technology, man.
Where's the...
Technology.
Oh, too loud.
Oh, it's not over. May your poo-poo be pee-pee.
I can't find... Why are you so loud? Shut up.
I'm just talking, man.
Talk normal.
I'm just kidding. Anywhere else, I'd be a 10.
Wow, that was out of control. I'm
having a good time.
I'm glad.
Brett thinks I'm in a mood, but I'm good.
No, I was just checking. Tim was being a little fidgety earlier, and I couldn't tell.
I'm not fidgety.
Not bad. It just seemed like you were like, yeah, no, let's do the thing. Let's whatever, blah, blah, blah.
The feng shui.
Welcome to the Keep Up Podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim is Tim.
That's me.
And we talk about all the things we consume, be it media or food. And I don't think I said that last episode.
No.
Yeah, I think I missed it.
Food? The food part or the whole
thing? I don't think I introduced the podcast.
Did I do it? I might have done it.
No, I mean the week before that you were like you queued me up. You were like you didn't intro it. And then last week I think I just didn't do it.
Dude, that's almost as bad as missing Sonic music.
Wow. That was an early baby.
Yeah, well,
that was a preemie.
It was.
My goodness.
Rip.
They don't have to die.
No, I'm just saying Rip Van
gosh.
Winkle was a preemie. Rip Van Winkle.
Good Lord, Timothy.
What?
Tim's spicy right now.
Yo, spicy Cleopatra.
You still sound so loud. I'm going to be fighting with this my whole life.
I'm talking.
There we go. I fixed it. It's perfect.
My name is Tim.
My name is Tim. Tim Rock. Kid Rock? Ba with the ba?
Bahaman?
No.
Ba with the what?
Ba with the ba.
Who's Ba?
You don't know the Kid Rock song?
No.
Ba with the ba, the bang, the dang, diggy, diggy.
Oh.
You know that song?
I do know that song.
It starts off with him and he's in a desert. He's like, my name is Kid. And he says Kid forever. And then he goes, Kid Rock. So
and then he starts the song.
Yeah.
But I never hear the beginning.
Yeah,
but that's why I'm listening to an album every week.
Right, that's why.
Kid Rock's next week.
Dude, I'll give you one.
I don't.
There was one Kid Rock album that I owned as a kid.
Is he still making music?
He is, yeah. It's getting real weird, actually.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's very politically charged.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, even more of a shame.
Charge!
Rip.
Credit cards. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Whatever. What's happening?
Charge credit cards.
Episode 273.
Yeah.
Which means we've done this at least 272 times before.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. But more than that.
More than that,
for sure.
We probably... Do you think we're in 300 yet? No, I don't think we've done
No, we're close. It says on Anchor how many episodes we have on there in total. And obviously it doesn't know which ones we decided to number and which ones not to. So
it's got a grand total.
Yeah. It's I think it's 280 something. But
did you see that YouTube added an RSS feed that you can connect your podcast to?
I did not see that.
Now?
Interesting.
Dude, I can't keep up.
Have we any need for that?
That's what I was thinking. That's why I bring it up now during the podcast. The only thing I can think of is potential, if they're trying to push people to do it, so they'll get your podcast out there.
Yeah.
But if Anchor might have that connection, or could have that connection now to post it to YouTube from that. But I don't think we need to do it. But like when social media has like a new like update or change or something, usually the rule of thumb is you have to use it and abuse it as much as you can because they're pushing it. They're like a new feature and they want people to do as much as they can. So they usually like you get rewarded for it.
Right.
So like Twitch started doing stories.
Oh, yeah.
And I never do them.
Dude.
And like, just things in general. So I don't know.
I don't know why it feels like such a headache. Like there's a part of me that I feel like should be thankful that I have all these outlets to play with, you know? But I think it's because I always feel like I'm behind, like I'm trying to keep up with whatever the last most popular thing was, which is that's such a lame thing to say, but it really is.
That's like, our whole podcast.
I know. It just literally
you just called our whole podcast lame.
No, I mean
our poo-poo pee-pee podcast.
Dude, I'm gonna quit.
There's something about the peas that makes Brett peeve.
It's not me. It's everyone listening, which it will be me at some point to make sure it doesn't sound bad.
Right.
But I'll just know those parts sound bad.
I'm making Brett put so much effort into editing the podcast.
Are you Brittany or Christina?
Brittany.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Get rid of those genies and those bottles.
No, dude.
All I need to do is hit a baby one more time. Oh, no. Oh. Brett, maybe you are right. Maybe I am in a mood. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, Jim's like, I'm not spicy. I just want to punch a baby. I like how you couldn't even get it out. I couldn't figure out what you were saying.
I was going.
Despite the album title literally being on my shirt. That is so funny.
It's technically just baby one more time.
Yeah. Right. But the instructions in the song are clearly...
What is that song about?
I legit don't... I mean,
is her booty being smacked?
No, I don't think so. No. I think, I get what she's saying.
Yeah.
Do I? No,
I don't.
I mean, I guess I get the concept. She's saying, I don't know what she's saying, dude. But
I'm thinking of the lyrics.
Genie in a bottle, I get.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of clear. You rub the bottle.
That's it.
You got to rub it the right way.
Yeah.
To get Christina Aguilera.
Right, and then she grants you wishes.
And Britney Spears, you just got to hit.
She just wants to be struck.
Well, that explains what happened to her, I guess.
What? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, she's all crazy now.
Oh, my gosh.
Have you not been following the Britney Spears Chronicles, Brett? She's nuts.
Dude, I don't think that's the situation.
No?
No. I think so.
Isn't she crazy? I mean,
she had a spell.
Yeah.
But I think there was a lot uncovered about how terribly mistreated she was.
But
and
isn't she crazy too? Like Michael Jackson crazy. The stardom got to her and she starts going bonkers.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
I've had 5 reasons to be canceled, so I'll just keep riding this train.
No, I just was I can't even remember what you said.
Oh.
What'd you say? She deserved to be hit? Is that what you said?
No. What?
You're
No.
All right. I didn't think that's what you said.
No, I meant in the way it explains why she's crazy if she just wanted to be hit all the time. She got hit in the head too many times.
I don't know why, but this feels terrible.
I don't know. I'm just gonna drink my water.
Oh, bro.
We got a new tablecloth.
We did. We didn't iron it.
We did. We unfolded it 20 minutes ago. Maybe an hour. And, you think I'm going to iron this?
Clearly not.
No.
No,
I didn't know you had to iron.
Yeah, there was no part of me that expected this to be ironed when I got here.
I should have opened it at least, though.
Dude, that's all right. You know how many t-shirts I buy and I just wear them with the fold lines in it?
Do you wash your shirts when you get them?
Not usually.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I always just put it on day one or whatever, but a lot of people wash it. I don't.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do. Rach does that. But I'm they just made it for me.
Yeah. It was specifically made for me. I guess it's more of if you're in the mall and do people try on shirts? I guess not. Try on pants.
Sometimes.
And
they're going for a certain fit.
Yeah.
I try on shirts because I don't trust any brand. They're all different.
Right, because
they're all different sizes.
If you get like an XL or whatever size, it's different depending on the brand.
Right, exactly. And when you're carrying around some weight, you can't trust the sizes.
That's why you always get 2 sizes bigger.
But then what if it's way too big?
Get a belt
for your shirt.
Yeah, that's a design. That's of fashion.
Yeah, like in 2007, I think.
Bring it back
for like scene girls.
Bring it back.
That's fair.
It's 2023. Nope, 2024. We can be scene girls.
It is 2024. That's true. Yeah,
I'm ready.
I did used to wear.
She was a skater boy. Said, "See you later, girl."
I used to wear a lot of girls' pants, actually.
Oh, were they comfy?
Yeah. There was a time where they had a stretch to them, where guys' pants didn't have that yet, really.
Come on.
And I was like, "This is what it's like
to be beautiful."
But you did have to sacrifice the pocket space.
Yeah. Did you even have pockets?
Barely.
Yeah. Why?
Well, yeah, I wasn't wearing like the pocketless.
I don't know. A lot of girls' clothing doesn't have pockets.
No, they do. They're just useless. You can fit like a quarter.
Why?
I don't know.
Do they think they have like tiny hands and
because
not a lot to carry?
Because the world lacks justice?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That's a big injustice.
So you're Britney over Christina.
Yeah. You're Christina over Britney?
I am.
It's a shame, bro.
I do. She's got some bangers. I'm a fan.
Yep.
But Christina, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
And what?
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
I don't know what I thought you said, but I thought you said like NSYNC Backstreet Boys. I was like, who's NSYNC?
I did say it weird.
Yeah, it's okay though.
I tried to play it off and you wouldn't let me. That's like, remember that time we had Edward on the podcast and I hadn't watched one of the movies that he did and I made it through the whole interview feigning like I'd watched all of them. And I watched some. It's not like I didn't watch any. I don't have time for this last one.
I got to listen back to the podcast.
Dude, right before the interview's over, Tim goes, "Wait, you didn't even watch it, did you?" I'm like, why would you do that to me?
I can't imagine I did that.
Well, you don't have to imagine it. It's a reality. I was there.
I don't think I said that specifically.
What's your favorite Britney Spears song?
Lucky.
I need to know if you're watching on YouTube, comment Christina or Britney. I'm just curious what the situation is out there.
We need to know. But to answer your other question.
Baby girl, because I need to know. I need to know.
Isn't that Ricky Martin?
I don't know who that is. Maybe Enrique Iglesias? I'm
learning music,
sure.
Brett. Give me a break.
We're not even in music.
I know, we're just talking.
Do you know what you were just gonna say?
What?
I don't know. You were about to say something.
Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC. Which one sings it? Sings I Want It That Way?
Yeah, it's Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys.
That one I feel like puts them always puts them over. I like NSYNC.
I can't even think of an NSYNC song.
Wow, dude. You know what I say to that?
What?
Bye, bye, bye.
Oh, see? That's the difference. And I don't know it.
You don't know that song?
No, I know it, but I didn't know who did it.
Unbelievable.
But I'm learning.
Hey, if you guys haven't yet, you should follow us on socials at the Keep Up Podcast. That's on TikTok and on Instagram and on YouTube.
Yep.
If you're listening only, if you're on YouTube, then you know where to find us.
You're already here, and there's plenty of videos for you to
watch. Tim also just posted our first Twitch live stream that wasn't just the podcast.
Right.
So if you're not subbed on YouTube, first of all, please do that. It would be great. Second of all, go check it out. It's us playing an old Ninja Turtles game.
Yes,
it's madness.
So we were discussing it. It was if it's the arcade version, is it the second game?
Is
it? And I still don't know because I was looking up the cover for the game to make the thumbnail, and I found a lot of them said Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Yes.
The arcade game.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of them just said Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I think it's just a port. Because I think so the NES game that everybody remembers, like you're just driving around in a van.
Yes.
And you get electrocuted in the water. Those are the two trauma moments
Shell
that everybody
shock.
Remembers.
They don't say it.
No, they don't say anything. They make some weird
beep boop up.
Yeah, that's what they do. But then the second game came out.
Yeah.
After that one. But it was also the arcade, like the side-scroller arcade cabinet, like the big one. And I think it was just called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it was the only arcade game at the time. But then when they ported it to the NES, it was the second one.
So First game came out on NES.
Yeah.
Then the arcade game came out.
I'm making that part up, but I think so.
Okay. Well, no, I'm trying to figure it out, I guess.
Yeah.
And then part 2, when they ported it to the NES, it was part 2.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think.
I think
or maybe it went the other way because I do remember the arcade game looking better than the one that we played.
We were playing the arcade version. So
we were?
It should have been the best. Well, arcade screens traditionally do look better, but yeah, that's the port we were playing. Because you'll know we're playing the NES version.
Well, it was fun.
It was a good time. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This has felt like a crazy roller coaster.
Dude, this is our life today.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Oh, he really likes it.
I feel like there was something else I was going to bring up, but I don't know what it was. How are you enjoying our YouTube presence? You enjoying being on YouTube, Tim?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I've enjoyed it the last 10 years.
Yeah, I guess we've been doing it for a while. It just every time we change something, it feels like fresh.
Yeah, no, I love seeing. Really, the big thing with us, and I've said it all the time, but consistency, and we've been really good with posting. I mean, granted, it's only been like a couple. Well, with Patreon, we've been really good. But,
yeah, we're so good.
Yeah, but like just posting content in general, and we have a good plan for like just things coming up.
Dude, it's such a good plan.
Yeah, so I'm excited about everything, dude.
I'm glad you're excited.
I'm loving it. I'm feeling that creative.
Oh, that is wild that's how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Is it, I'm going to cough.
Cough you. The way you looked up and did that.
Remember the Patreon video we just filmed?
I don't want to.
That's why you were spicy, dude.
Dude, you guys, if you ever want to see me throw up.
Yeah, I didn't mean for this to be a plug, but I'm realizing now I didn't say it before. Patreon.com/thekeepup.
This last 10 minutes have just been plugs.
You want some extra bonuses?
Yeah.
I guess it kind of has been. I don't know. I'm just telling people what's up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why they're here.
Just telling you guys some other content that's out there because it's for you to consume if you want it.
Right.
You know
if you're only like listening to the podcast, we're everywhere else. And if you're only watching YouTube, we're everywhere else.
Yeah.
So
we're other places. But it's about the podcast right now.
Yes.
And we've got some things to talk about.
Right.
Actually, I don't think it's like a ton, but it's some things for sure.
Yo, it's the podcast like always.
And is the first thing TV?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Television.
Do you have anything in TV or just do I do?
Just you, but I have to share in the thing that you do have. You know what I really wanted to watch though, and I couldn't get Peacock to work?
What?
Ted. The Ted series.
The series?
Yeah. It's new.
Ted, like Seth MacFarlane Ted?
Yeah. They made a TV series about him in high school.
I did not know that.
It looks so funny.
I have also
never
seen the movie.
Oh, okay. Homework, Brett.
Yeah?
Movie.
Mm-hmm.
There is a second one.
Right.
It's not as good.
Okay.
But still got some good jokes.
Sure.
And then the series.
Okay.
But anyways, we're not here to talk about what ifs or
We're not.
homework or whatever.
Right.
Brett,
what?
You requested upon me to watch a show that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
It is part of the cultural zeitgeist that is MTV.
That's true.
It has been.
Look at the boo-boo I got on my fingy.
I know. I meant to ask you like 4 hours ago. What happened?
I just cut a fingernail too short.
Oh, what?
I cut a fingernail too short.
That wasn't even like a work injury?
Well, it became one during work.
Oh.
Because it like started to pull my finger away from my nail. Sorry, that's gross. But now viewers know I have this neon green Band-Aid on my finger.
No, well, I just thought it was like, when you painted your nails and stuff, it was like a fashion thing.
Oh, you thought it was just like a fashion thing?
Yeah.
It does look pretty cool.
It does. It's a nice Band-Aid.
Maybe it's a new thing.
Yeah. I want my hands to be cut up so I can have Band-Aids and look cool.
We can make that happen.
I mean, I don't need to cut my fingers.
We could play the little knife game from Alien or whatever. Is it Alien that they do that?
Five-finger fillet, I think it's called.
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
It's not Alien. Is it Alien?
I think it's an alien.
Aliens?
Ooh.
It's because isn't it the android that does it?
Yeah, because he does it
and the
really
guy's
fast.
free. He's like,
Yeah, so aliens. Yeah.
Yeah, because then the android who has all the milk inside him.
Well, it's also Alien. The Milky Boy. Anyways, Brett asked me to watch
The Zeitgeist.
The Zeitgeist. Right. Something that is very much woven in between the MTV DNA.
Yeah.
Brett asked me to watch
Yeah.
Mike Judge's Beavis and Butt-Head.
That's the one.
And the reason why I specify Mike Judge at the beginning...
Important.
Because the older series is Beavis and Butt-Head by Mike Judge.
That's correct.
And the new one starts with Mike Judge.
That's correct.
Brett, I did my research.
You did.
And here's the thing. Brett told me to watch an episode over a phone call.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember what episode it was. So my brain was yelling roof. And I think that's the one you told me to watch.
That's the one.
Okay.
Because it's two, is the roof and then the river.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I watched the right one.
Let's go.
Anyways, Brett, what made you decide to watch this?
All right. So I have talked about it the past few episodes. I've been on this like crazy 90s kick. And I don't know why Beavis and Butt-Head popped into my head, but my history with this show is very funny because I wasn't allowed to watch it as a kid.
After the one episode I watched, I get it.
Yeah, I totally get it now too. But I did have the friend who was allowed to watch it.
Yo.
Shout out Alex.
Yo, Alex the Malix.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. I guess we could try to make that stick.
Yeah.
I used to go to his house and we would watch Beavis and Butt-Head, and even though I didn't watch it very often, he and I would both do the voices all the time. And in fact, I could be wrong, but I think that's why we have an uncle and a cousin who have always called me Butthead. Because they used to call me and Alex Beavis and Butt-Head. Because we were like that duo that always hung out. Yeah, that's my history with the show. And the other day, I was just flipping through. Oh, you know what it was? I watched Beavis and Butt-Head Do America.
Ah, yes.
Because it's just it is a moment in time where Beavis and Butt-Head were ruling the world to the point where they could have a movie. Apparently, ruling the world is a way too aggressive.
They might have been worldwide.
They were here. I mean, it's a name that everybody has heard.
Yes.
I feel like most people. I guess I'm curious what current generations know about Beavis and Butt-Head. But what was so cool about it is they're just a couple of like doofuses on a couch, like watching music videos. So there's an aspect to it where I do love the structure of the show, where you're getting a story, very cartoon formula, where every episode is just like a random adventure, quote unquote.
Right.
But it gets interrupted with them just sitting on a couch and watching something.
Which, let me tell you, as someone who like never has seen Beavis and Butt-Head before, very jarring.
Were you like, what is happening?
I thought it was an ad.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, but I saw Beavis and Butt-Head in the corner.
Yep.
The title of the show. But yeah, the first episode had us watching a Post Malone music video.
Yeah.
And they were doing Mystery Science Theater of it. They were making fun of it while they were watching it.
And that's what they've always done. So like anytime you've seen like a meme or a gif of them headbanging, it's from like it aired on MTV, and it would even back then it was confusing because it would cut to a music video.
Yeah.
And that's when MTV was actually showing music videos. So you'd be like, did we just skip? Like, are we in a different show?
Yeah, like what happened?
And then they'd start, like you said, Mystery Science Theater commentating on it.
Which honestly, I think it was back in the day probably a really smart idea because like the audience who's watching Beavis and Butt-Head might not really watch music videos.
Yep.
Or vice versa, or however it works. But yeah, it's just like an extra little bonus. And maybe, I don't even know if MTV got paid to have the music videos in the show.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some kind of deal.
Yeah, I'm curious how that all like came to be.
Because with the new ones, I actually just looked up an artist the other day.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching through this 2 new seasons. So to wrap up the previous story, I saw that on Prime, Beavis and Butt-Head Do America, and I was like, wow, I barely remember because I didn't really get to watch it a lot. And I was like, I wonder what the comedy is even like. Like, what is this show even like? Because as a kid, I probably didn't get it all.
Yep.
And we just, it did appeal to younger kids who like, it was like a bad show to watch, so it made you want to watch it. And they're both such idiots.
They really are.
Like, we're going to talk about this in a minute, but the whole thing is just that they are complete idiots. So it's very dumb humor, but there's a lot of stuff I feel like as a kid, you just like, you're not thinking about much more than they're just going, you're
seriously,
dumb.
All the breathing mouth noises, I'm like,
And they're both Mike Judge.
Oh, they both are?
Yeah,
okay. Because I can definitely hear like the Hank Hill in...
Tom Anderson?
Yeah, in Beavis, I think. Oh, no, Butthead. I'm getting the names back and forth, but yeah.
And the neighbor, did you meet the neighbor, Tom Anderson?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he's total Hank Hill.
Yeah.
But I heard it more in like Beavis and Butthead. Like I heard the way he does like God. Like he'll say God in a way. It's like God.
I don't know if Mike Judge does all of them though.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
It sounds like Hank Hilly.
Maybe it is.
But
I don't know who
neighbor
voices
100% is Hank Hill. But
yes, yeah. But I don't know who voices him. We'll have to look it up. Tim, look it up.
I was going to look in my journal.
Tim's been handwriting this year and just reached for his journal to Google something. Like your journal just now holds all the answers.
How cool would that be? I open it and
that
it's
would be so cool. That would be so much cooler than just like Googling.
Right?
You just have this magical book.
Oh, it's called a tablet, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Anyways.
It doesn't have pages, though.
I can't type.
What are you looking up?
Who does the voice? Mike. What?
I would just look up King of the Hill.
Yeah, Mike Judge does Beavis and Butt-Head.
Yeah.
And Tom
Anderson?
Yeah.
That's also him?
Yeah.
So is he also Hank Hill?
Yep.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that.
That's crazy. To have that much like creative, not even freedom, but just to like be that involved in the project too. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so what ended up happening is I watched that movie. It was funny enough to like, I was like, man, this is like so 90s, and the nostalgia factor brought me way back because I was in like elementary school, like early elementary school, and I afterwards was like, where is the show? Because I'm curious to go back and watch the show.
Yeah,
because the movie's a different experience. And I saw that the latest date on them is 2022, and I was like, wait, they relaunched this?
Yeah.
So I started there, and I don't know why, but I love it.
It's so good.
You like it?
Yeah. It's so stupid.
It's so stupid.
But like it moves at a pace that feels just like entertaining.
Yeah.
And although I will say both episodes end in a way where I'm like, I feel like there's a better resolution to these episodes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I guess they're dead.
Both
episodes make me think they're dead.
They're all very like there's an episode where it ends and their apartment gets completely demolished. And like you can see it coming. Like you know from the first couple minutes of the episode that's going to be the resolution. So you're mostly just wondering what are they going to do?
Right.
And the funny part is that they don't really remedy the situation.
Next episode, they're all good. Everything resets.
Totally. But yeah, it's funny because it is such dumb humor, but it's somehow, I think that's what's kind of fascinating about it is it's somehow like they're interestingly dumb in every episode.
And you want to see like almost how dumb they could be. Because it's like...
It's so good.
I mean, the first episode, Roof... at one point, and it's super funny, Beavis falls off the roof.
Yeah.
And he like sets up a ladder. I don't even want to explain the whole joke, but the way they're stuck on a roof and a ladder keeps falling off, and the way it keeps falling off again and again, I'm like, how are they that stupid?
Yeah. It's also, I think, the awareness in the dialogue, which it's wild to think that they're both Mike Judge.
Yeah.
But when one of them says something that doesn't really make a lot of sense, and then the other one will, instead of just letting it pass, that will end up being the whole conversation.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the TV combos are like all improv. Kind of feels like they are.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how you improv with yourself. I actually don't know what his process is there.
Yeah, that is weird because he must start with one of them like having. I guess you'd have to switch between your voices right then and there because you can't like record dialogue for one side.
That's how I imagined it happening.
But then how would the other person, like, how would you know yourself? How would you react? I guess if it's written out. If it's scripted.
Yeah, maybe it is scripted.
That would be the way to do it. But it doesn't sound it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But yeah, I don't know. It was funny going back. And then what I did do is I went and watched the earliest episode they have. Both series are streaming on Paramount Plus. I went back and watched the earliest episode, and it's super rough. It's like watching the first episode of like The Simpsons. Or whatever.
Okay.
So it's not as smooth, and it still has its appeal, but it was kind of like I think the first episode ever was I think it was Frog Baseball, like the culmination of that episode is that that's the wrong word. The sort of like climax of that episode is they end up using a frog as a baseball.
Blood Drive is what it says here.
Blood Drive?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one I think I watched. That's the first episode?
That's what it says.
Is there one called Frog Baseball?
Door to Door, Balloon, Hero, Stewart's House. I don't see anything.
All right. Well, maybe that was just like a short or something like that. But it was kind of like You know how Ren and Stimpy's like earliest stuff was super adult?
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. It was violent and it was all right, but the animation's so rough, it's kind of hard to go back to.
Yeah,
but
I get that.
It is like, I don't know. I'm trying to describe the appeal because like I was watching it and Rach was like, I literally cannot watch this. It's so stupid. And I get it. Like, I get it.
I wouldn't even know how to tell people about it.
It's just, they're the epitome of like idiot teenagers.
Yeah.
And it's just like cartoon idiocy.
Yep.
But it just always goes beyond what I expect their stupidity to be. And it just makes me laugh. And there's like a couple, the one I sent you, there's a scene in it.
Yeah.
That got me so hard. They were looking to float down a stream because their whole thing is they're just like trying to meet chicks.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I want to score. Like that's their whole thing. And they're trying to float down a river, so they're looking for something that floats, and it got me laughing so hard. They find this like pile of debris and trash, and they're like, oh, look, perfect. And I think Butthead says something like, Beavis, it's our lucky day. And there's literally like 2 inner tubes.
Yep. Perfect for floating down the river.
And in the background, there's like a shopping cart. And it immediately cuts to the next scene and they're just pushing the shopping cart towards the river. And it's just like, it just made me laugh out loud. I don't know. It's the simplicity of it, but it's also kind of like, I don't know. There's a subtle genius to how dumb it is, and it is very entertaining. You're very right about that.
Yep.
It's just the pace that it moves at. It's these like fun little goofy adventures, and it's absolutely a keeper. I did watch. I went back to I've never done this before, but I don't feel like it really matters with the show. I went to season, I think it was 8 or 9 was the last one before this relaunch in 2022.
Yeah. Which that show was on. It had, I just saw it here, 200 episodes.
Yeah, it was on for a long time.
That's crazy.
I know. And I only remember like one episode, but I went to the last one and it was, I think the first episode of that season was them it was a whole episode making fun of Twilight.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, wow, it was running even, which, that was a while ago now, but it feels like not that long ago. I thought the show was like over in the 90s. Because it started
in 93.
Yeah.
So it must have jumped around a bit. Like it would be off for like 2 years because Twilight was 2009. So you only have 9 seasons.
Wow, that's crazy.
The math isn't mathin'.
Right.
So they must have taken some like hiatuses and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was also doing, like the first season is 3 episodes in March. And then the next season is in May, 93, 93, 94, 95. Oh, yeah. So it ended in 1997 and then came back for season 8 in 2011.
Weird.
Yep. And then that was it. Season 8 was the last one.
And then 2022, they put out a new season. Yep. And then just last year, they put one out.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that. I watched all of I guess it's not season 1, but whatever the 2022 season was.
Yeah.
It was season 1 of Mike Judge's Beavis and Butt-Head.
Right.
But, yeah. It's, to me, like both series are probably going to end up being keepers. The earliest stuff on the original run is definitely like really rough. But I do plan on watching more of that. I'm about halfway through season 2 of the relaunched series. But keepers for me.
From the one episode I saw, keeper. I think it was fun.
I'm so glad you liked it.
Yeah.
You'll know within one episode if it's for you or not. But I think it's a cleverly dumb humor that's just fun.
And I've always liked Mike Judge's stuff. I really like King of the Hill.
Yep.
I've seen all those episodes and honestly don't know what else he's done.
Yeah, King of the Hill's great.
Office Space, he was a producer on that.
Yep.
He's kind of been all around. But so it's all good for me.
Now you've seen Beavis and Butt-Head.
Yeah. The new stuff. I gotta see some of the old episodes.
The new one, dude. You could just watch the new ones. If you don't want to like get yourself too deep into it, just start with the new ones.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah?
That's it.
You had a movie?
Let's go to movies.
Okay.
Ooh, let's go to the movies.
All right, this one's a little bit not necessarily late, and no one's going to care about it because no one should care about it. But I need to talk a little bit about Rebel Moon.
Oh, Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon.
Yeah. Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon.
Do you have any interest in watching this?
I
want to pull it up now.
Kinda like.
So
I'm curious, but I don't know. I do know what it is now.
Yes.
But when it came out, I was like, is this based on something? Is that I had no idea what it was.
Yeah. So Zack Snyder, the director, who is known for very mixed filmography.
Yeah.
I would say you have like 300, which is pretty well regarded.
Mixed, like you're saying, critically?
Yeah. I like people, but also like critically and with people too. Like the normies, if you will.
Yeah.
300, you have Sucker Punch, you got Justice League, the Zack Snyder edit specifically.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. Like he's been all over the place. And I think he's had some really high highs and really low lows.
Watchmen was Snyder.
Oh, yeah. See?
Yep.
Watchmen is... I think you got to watch the complete version of it.
I think so too.
The 4.5 hour version.
That's the move.
It's the way to do it because the original's like they butchered it too much.
You
He's
think
good
so?
at director's cuts. I think that's where he shines.
Yeah, for sure.
Making his like full movie director's cut because I still think Justice League is probably one of the best DC movies ever.
I still haven't watched
his
it.
cut, anyways. I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
So I still like. I also think him as like a visionary.
Mm-hmm.
His visual style is so recognizable.
Yes.
And I think so commendable.
Right.
So like Sucker Punch, I don't know what the hell happened in that movie.
No one does.
But it was kind of awesome.
Yeah, the action in it, like visually, is fun, and that's
It's
what's
crazy.
cool about 300 too.
Right.
Is like, granted, 300 has a solid story with it, but yeah, the visuals at the time. I mean, it was recreated and mimicked for years.
Yeah.
And so he's got the style down.
Yeah.
And that was my hope with Rebel Moon.
Sure.
Is that the style would still be there, even if the substance is a little weak.
Sure.
It's rough, man.
Oh no.
It is a rough watch.
So what is it's like Star Warsy?
Yeah, so it was a pitch to Disney / Star Wars to make his own Star Wars movie, and they said, "Nah, we're good." So he said, "I'm still gonna make it, just do my own story on it, my own spin."
Okay.
And so what's given to you just feels like a cheap imitation of Star Wars. There are some like 1-to-1 shots of iconic Star Wars moments that are like almost recreated in this movie.
That's weird.
Yeah, and it doesn't even make really sense in the context of the movie, but there's like one scene in particular where they're like in a bar and like someone gets in a confrontation, and it's very much like the like Han Solo and Luke part in the movie where like it's just, or Obi-Wan, I should say, Obi-Wan and Luke, and it's just like you can feel the imitation throughout the whole thing. Like you're eating a crab dinner and it's made out of imitation crab. Like it's almost there.
You're like, I know what you're trying to do here.
I feel it.
That's weird. You would think he'd be like hyper aware.
For sure. I mean, of one of the, considered one of the greatest movies of all time, or at least one of the most important movies, you would think he would probably try to avoid it.
Right.
I get paying like homages and stuff, but you just feel it all the way through that you're like, man, he is trying to make a Star Wars movie here.
Right. And then you can never... Sorry, I got very upset.
No, it's okay. I'm upset too.
And then you can never expect it to like... If it's that closely mimicking something else, you can never expect it to really garner its own audience because its audience is the audience for Star Wars.
Right.
And they're not going to abandon that to be like, now this.
No.
Not that it's one or the other, but I mean...
I will say his timing on it is pretty good because a lot of people are itching for a Star Wars movie and feel kind of left wanting more after the previous trilogy.
Gotcha.
We got some good shows. You have Ahsoka, you have Andor, you have Mandalorian. You got some good shows.
Yeah.
I think so. Like the idea, I could see it. It's like, okay, we're going to give you a Star Wars movie that's not Star Wars, but close enough.
Sure.
So, putting all the Star Wars stuff aside, it's just not a great movie. It's just, it's really, the pacing's kind of all over the place. It feels like 5 hours long, and then it feels like 10 minutes long. Like
weird.
Like how the story is pace wise. Like the first hour of the movie is like slow, really, really slow. And then it's just like quick. But what should have felt slow is the part that's quick. Because like the premise essentially goes, the whole world is, not the whole world, the whole galaxy is being controlled by an evil empire.
Is this in a galaxy far, far away?
Pretty far from us, I assume.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been a long time ago as well.
Right.
Don't know for sure. But yes, the galaxy is being controlled by this evil empire.
Okay.
And there's a group of rebels who are trying to rebel on the moon. Rebel Moon, there it is. No, they're not on the moon, though. Not yet. Maybe part 2. That's the other thing. It's 2 parts. It's called part 1, Rebel Moon part 1.
You think... Okay.
Yeah, so the other part's coming out in April. It was like...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're done like back to back, I guess. Anyways, yeah. So you're following someone who was like once maybe part of the evil empire.
Sure.
Who now wants to fight against them, and they want to get like a band of people together to fight against the evil empire.
Of course.
Pretty much, that's all you get.
It's pretty Star Wars.
Pretty Star Warsy. Yeah. I will say it does have a Seven Samurai feel, only in the way people are like what they do throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And how each person they like recruit for this team is like how they do things and how different they are from each other.
Okay.
Because the Seven Samurai say same concept, except not necessarily about the recruiting, just more about the different samurai and how they each have all like one important point throughout the movie.
Sure.
So it does kind of the same thing in that. But yeah, it's just a movie that drags on and then goes way too fast.
Weird.
And when it's fast, you really, really want it to slow down because you get no time for all these characters to be introduced.
Yeah.
They all get their like short little segment, if you will.
Sure.
But then they're just kind of in the background as you're like recruiting, as she, the character you're following, as she goes and recruits the next person they need for the team.
It reminds me of one of the biggest issues with Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. Not the Suicide Squad.
Right.
But the first one.
David Ayer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
I forgot David Ayer did that.
I try not to remind Brett all the time of it.
Dude, how do you do Fury?
And then
I don't know.
he said it was a lot of Warner Brothers getting in the way.
That doesn't surprise me.
And did a director's cut come out?
Yeah, I never watched it though.
I don't know if it's any better.
But that movie felt that way too, where like it started off kind of introducing you to people, and then at some point it just abandoned even worrying about it.
Yeah.
It was just like, here's another guy, and this girl does this, and here's this person, and like,
yeah, I don't even remember the team in that.
me neither. That's
There's
what I
Harley
mean.
Quinn, Will
They just
Smith.
show up, a bunch of people die.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's very weird.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget in like the third, I don't know, felt like the beginning of the last third of the movie, they really try to make you care about one character just so that they can like, I don't even remember, die or there's some kind of sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even remember who that guy is till right now. They're like, look
He
how
was part
sad
of the
this story.
team?
Yeah, like it's just so crazy. So
Yeah.
it sounds similar to that where, yeah, you just don't have time to like care about people or I don't know, follow as tightly to the happenings as you might want to.
Yep.
So at the end of it, you're just kind of like, meh, whatever.
Yeah, I hate to give any movie a sleeper, but I think I got to give this a sleeper.
Wow.
It is, unless part 2 does something crazy to warrant part 1.
Sure.
As a huge fan of sci-fi, it didn't hit anything I haven't seen before.
Right.
Even the fights, there are 2 like pretty cool ones.
Yeah.
But not worth the watching the whole movie. And the movie's only 2 hours.
Okay.
For what kind of content is there, I think it would have been better if it was 3 hours. I think you actually need it to be longer, even though it felt slow.
So do you think he's going to do a director's cut?
I think so.
He probably is.
Yeah, and I think maybe
It's like his move at this point.
Yeah, and maybe if they do part 1 and part 2, and then he does a director's cut of them combined, could be better.
Might be worth it.
But super dumb if that's the plan. Like, why even release the first one?
Right. Just make the movie.
Yeah. So it is quite. It's quite tough. I mean, even for sci-fi fans, Star Wars fans, there's just not much there for you.
Yeah. So
for now, it's a sleeper.
It's a sleeper.
And I say for now because I am going to see part 2.
Sure.
I am invested.
Yep.
Unfortunately. And the last point I want to put out there is Netflix. You know how you have profile pictures?
Yeah.
Zack Snyder, is the first director that you can make your profile picture of on Netflix. Just a fun little side thing.
That is fun. I don't know why that's kind of funny.
I think they're really just pushing for him to be like one of the big pillars of Netflix.
Yeah.
Because he did the zombie movie, right? The
Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
And then
the bank heist one or whatever.
Yeah, like Army of the Banks or whatever it was called. Bank.
The Dead Bank.
Bank of the Dead. Pin code of the dead. I don't remember what it was.
It could be any of those.
No, it's Army of Thieves.
Army of Thieves?
Right? Army of the
let's see.
Army of Thiever guys.
Hanukkah. No.
What?
Army of the Dead.
Army of the
he
Dead.
didn't direct the second one.
What?
Apparently.
I thought it was his whole thing.
That's what I thought. It doesn't show up, though. Where's the sequel? Army of Thieves.
Yeah, Army of Thieves.
And that was directed by... If you can pronounce her name, I'll give you $20. Or his name.
Matthias Schweighöfer.
You know what? That sounds good enough. Here's $10.
Thanks, buddy.
In the past.
Yeah, I don't know who this is.
Me neither.
He's in Army of the Dead.
Oh, good.
And then he directed... Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, he's done some Netflix stuff.
Yeah.
That is funny. I don't know. There's something funny about your icon just being another real human person.
Right. It's like fun to make it a character or like some creature, but to just make it a director.
Just pick a person is funny.
Be like, hey guys, it's me, Zack Snyder.
Just a point to your sort of tolerance for things.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day because what was happening Tuesday, we're all home. Snow day for the kids. Mm-hmm. Rachel's dance classes got canceled. I was home because of my hand injury and stuff like that. So we're hanging out, and Rachel and I are chilling, and I'm like, I kind of feel like watching a show. Mm-hmm. And we don't have anything currently running other than I'm watching Beavis and Butt-Head, but it wasn't time for Beavis and Butt-Head. So I'm like flipping through stuff, and there's a couple of shows I've wanted to watch, and I put on this show, and I watched half an episode, and I didn't even finish the episode before I was like, I can't.
What was it?
Wolfpack on Paramount Plus.
Got no idea.
So the reason it's even on my radar is Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it.
Oh.
Yeah, also it's like wolves.
Wolves.
And it's weird. I know we're not in TV, but it was an interesting moment where I was like, not that long ago, if I start something, I'm like, well, I got to watch the whole thing to have like a full review of it.
Yeah.
And I might go back and finish this, but the script is really bad. Mm-hmm. It's just so like, it's so exposition focused.
Is it like a teen show or is it?
Yeah. It is, and I think Sarah Michelle Gellar plays like a detective because there is like a werewolf outbreak of some sort, and it starts off with these like wildfires, and there's a bunch of kids on a bus, and it actually is surprisingly violent. Mm-hmm. I think it's TVMA. It really surprised me in the first couple moments. Like someone's face gets stepped on by like an elk, and it just crushes their face in.
Oh my
God!
God.
I was like, oh my gosh! And I didn't expect it because the acting is so. I really think it's the writing. The lines are just goofy, and it's just like, I don't know. There's like a point where a kid is like shaking a little bit, and a girl looks at his hand, and he like explains his entire like medical condition that makes him have tremors, and it's like, she never asked. You're just trying to like tell us what's going on. Yeah. So I don't know. It was just a bunch of moments like that. It was funny. I got halfway through it, and I was like, I don't think I can do this right now. And I went over to Carnival Row, and the juxtaposition of the quality of the two shows was, I was like, how? Because Carnival Row, which I'll talk about it more in the future. I'm only 2 episodes in, but just it was wild being like, this is the tone I think the other show was going for, and just didn't quite have it. And I just have never I haven't put anything down that quickly in a long time. Yeah.
It goes to show how bad it is.
It's just, there's just so much stuff too. I'm like, I don't have time.
That's the thing. My usual tolerance is I try to give everything 3 episodes.
I think that's a good rule.
But it's a little tougher with hour-long shows.
That's what I was going to say. This show's like, I think it was 48 minutes.
Yep.
And I was halfway through and bored. And I'm like, I know things need a minute to get off the ground, but like the CGI was bad.
What would help me usually is how long the show is. If it's, 10 hour-long episodes, it's a little tougher for me than like a six episode miniseries.
Sure. Yeah.
Like 3 episodes would probably not be as much for a miniseries. Like I'd probably do maybe 1 or 2. I think at least 2, because 1 I feel like is too short. Yeah. I feel like you just can't get like really into the nitty gritty of
especially if it's like this brand new, it's not based on anything. They're just building this world and these characters and stuff like that.
But I think it's good. I mean, why waste your time watching something that you don't even like the first episode of? Like sometimes it's worth giving it. Mostly I would do it based on praise. If people gave it really high reviews and was like, this is the greatest show ever, then I would sit and probably watch it. I've
heard like nothing about it since it came out. Like I've known it's been out,
right?
And the only thing I've seen is like people who are either Buffy fans or on Sarah Michelle Gellar's like Instagram being like, I'm in this show, and I think that's why I even know about it. But it just made me think of it because when you're talking about Rebel Moon, it's like, maybe it's not worth it if you've already seen all these other sci-fi classics. Right. That this one's like kind of just copy and pasting, and you didn't leave it feeling like, oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not worth the time. Like, maybe that's why it's a sleeper right now.
Right. I think it'll permanently be a sleeper, but the only thing that makes me think of
permanent sleeper sounds so aggressive.
Permanent sleeper.
Permanent sleep.
Because I did not really like the first Fear Street movie. It was like kind of rough, but part 2 and 3 make part 1 great.
Yes.
To me, because of how it connects to
that's
3. So that's the only reason it's not like permanently, because I the future parts made the first part better.
You have seen that happen before.
Yeah.
See, I enjoyed the first Fear Street. I thought 2 and 3 definitely stepped it way up. Because I had no idea what I was in for.
Nope.
I thought, I just didn't realize how they were all going to tie together. That
and the first one I didn't
great.
hate. It just didn't it didn't wow me.
Yeah. It was just a slasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, that's a great trilogy.
It is. Yeah. Once you get it all together.
So good.
Yeah.
Are you ready to talk about your homework?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
What are you listening to?
And see, Brett, I did better. I didn't say the thing we were going into.
I was going to let you. I was waiting for you to do it this time.
I did. I'm a big boy now.
But now nobody knows where we are, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, too bad.
You know, it's funny. That transition actually doesn't say what it is.
Oh.
It implies.
It implies.
Yeah.
Well, let me imply this. I listened to another album. Brett gave me homework.
That's just saying something. You're not implying it.
Yeah, I guess so.
But
I got notes for days.
Wow. Yeah, you do.
I got notes for days.
So I want to shout out our friend Andy.
Yeah, Andy.
Who sent us a massive list of albums for Tim to listen to.
Yes. And yeah, if anybody else has any albums, please let me know. I'm taking all suggestions.
Yep.
I initially was going to just pick a random album, but I was like, I'll at least give this one, because Brett recommended me the album I'm about to talk about. And I was like, I'll just pop it on while I'm just like doing whatever. And I listened to the first song and I'm like, and we're listening to the whole thing.
Yeah?
Yeah. So Brett told me, he forced me against my will.
I merely I thought you already had something you were going to listen to.
I had a couple ideas.
Yeah.
But I was looking for something poppy, so Poppy.Computer is what I listened to.
Yeah.
But I was looking for a pop style music.
Yeah.
But yes, Brett told me to listen to Poppy.Computer.
Yeah.
The album by Poppy, I guess.
Yeah.
So Poppy, my only exposure to her is her really weird YouTube videos back in the day. Yeah.
So strange.
They're just like out there, experimental, crazy.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Poppy. Like they were weird. Honestly, didn't even remember them when I was listening to her music.
Yeah.
Then I went through the YouTube after. I was like, oh, I've seen this one.
Oh, yeah.
So that, and I know you've enjoyed her for years at this point.
Yeah, it's been a while. I didn't. So that was my first exposure too. I think was her YouTube stuff, and I was just like, whoa, this is. I don't even know.
Yeah, like what are we watching?
I don't get what's happening here.
Yeah.
And I think she's just like an artist. She's
just doing whatever she feels like doing.
Yeah, it's wild. And I really respect it. And I didn't really know what to think of it. I was like, okay, that's weird. And then, like this album, I only listened to for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
The album I am well acquainted with is I Disagree, which was when she was doing like kind of metal stuff, and it caught my attention because I was like, I don't think that's what Poppy usually does.
Yeah.
And then she was touring with Deftones, and I was like, what is going on?
She's jumping all over the place.
Yeah, and that record is so good.
Okay.
And it's so weird and awesome. And so a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh, you know what? There's Poppy albums. She just put a new one out recently too that you should definitely check out. That I think is also great, but I had never listened to this one. So a couple weeks ago, I put this on, and I was thinking about it when I was thinking about you the other day, and I was like, you know what? We did Metallica last time. Let's totally flip the script.
Totally do it. That's what I want to do is like jump all over the place.
Yeah, I thought you might appreciate that.
Yeah, and I certainly did. Dude.
Yeah?
The entirety of the album,
Yeah?
loved it.
Yeah?
Loved it.
The whole thing?
So good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty much every song I thought was like, man, this is something that I'll like hum later.
Yes.
Every one of them made it into my holy playlist of music.
The whole thing? Are you making a playlist?
Yeah. Yep, of my favorite songs. And then
Dude, so by the end of this year,
I'm going to have a whole new playlist of songs.
Dude, can you share it? Where are you making it?
I was doing it on YouTube, but maybe I can do it.
Can you like share a YouTube playlist?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's private right now, but just share
I want it at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's cool. So
of the songs that I like, so Metallica got 4.
Yeah.
I wrote Metallica Duty. But yeah, this pretty much every song. There was one I was like a little iffy, but I was like, well, I'm just gonna throw them all.
Do you remember which one?
Fuzzy.
Fuzzy, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuzzy's okay.
Fuzzy ends up being more like a modern pop song than everything else.
Right.
Where everything else is kind of more like out there.
Yes.
But yeah, the album itself, the cover's cool. It's just her face being covered by like a white block, I guess.
Yeah,
who knows?
I don't know.
It's artistic, it's simple, and it doesn't really capture, I think, what the album is, given the name and what happens. But it's cool. It's not offensive, at least.
It's not offensive. No, that's true.
But a solid cover. I was mesmerized by the album.
Yeah?
In a way where like she sings in a way that almost feels like she's trying to suck us into a computer. Yeah. She's like some seductress, but not in a sexy way, more like I'm a creepy computer, I'm gonna snap your neck in your sleep.
Yeah.
Which one song she specifically says she's gonna break your neck.
It's one of my favorite parts of the album because
it's crazy.
I don't know why she says it.
It's like Poppy is your friend.
She says Poppy is an object.
Yeah.
Poppy is your best friend.
Uh-huh.
Poppy will break your neck.
Poppy is your pet?
Yeah, Poppy will be your pet.
Yeah. That whole thing, I'm like, what am I supposed to take from this?
The weirdest bridge. I don't know. It's amazing.
What song was that in? That was
My Style?
Yep.
Yeah.
My Style.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll just kind of go through the songs as I've done with the other one. I'm Poppy. Great intro.
Yeah.
Explains who she is. Makes you feel like you're in a computer.
Yeah.
P-O-P. Okay, I'm not going to sing every song.
Dude, that hook though is so good.
That's my biggest takeaway from all this is every hook in every song is awesome.
Yeah.
I think every single one is like so ingrained into my brain. Because I listened to this for a couple days back to back.
You did?
Like, yeah, because
wow.
I really wanted it to be ingrained in my head when I talked about it, and I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
so,
very earwormy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that one, kind of introduced us to Poppy. Solid. Computer Boy, again.
That's probably my second favorite.
Yeah,
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, she sounds a little obsessive. Like she's like creepy.
I agree.
And so it builds up to the third song, which is Interweb. And she's like, I've got you in my interweb.
Yeah.
And I got you with the internet, which I thought was very clever.
Yeah, very clever.
That she's using net. Anyways. Yeah. But yeah, those three songs back to back is like, it makes me think of some creepy AI that's like.
Wait, are those songs back to back on the album?
The one you sent me, they're back to back.
No way.
Yep.
I think you listened to it out of order.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's the other thing. The thing you sent me had 20 songs in the album.
What?
Right. So it turns out the other half was just the music videos of the songs.
Oh,
so I was like, wait, I think I've heard this one. But that could have been in the right order. I don't know. But listening to these three songs, I'm Poppy, Computer Boy, and Interweb back to back was...
Oh, yeah. No, that's not the order. So... Okay, but you did hear the whole album.
Except for pop music, which I didn't realize until like an hour before I started streaming, and I just didn't get the chance to listen to it. But
it's the outro, so you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is I think those three songs are like super important, but they're actually spread out throughout the record. Oh. So I'm Poppy's first.
Yeah.
Computer Boy's number 6, and then Interweb is track 9.
Oh.
So it actually kind of like elongates the theme, because that's one of the things that I wanted to mention about it is the theme of like obsession with self and technology throughout the whole record is so engaging. I think.
And it's like, I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah.
Like, is she, when she talks about Computer Boy, is she in love with like a man inside the computer?
Yeah.
Is she in love with her laptop?
So,
like, do you take it literally?
My take on that, because the whole track, she's saying she's ending the chorus with Computer Boy.
Yep.
But then by the end, when she's doing like the coda, like the song is coming to its end, she's just saying computer.
Oh, right.
So to me, that song plays like a progression where it's like the way we personify our technology and our phones and our computers and stuff. And then at the end, she stops calling it a computer boy and just calls it her computer.
The computer.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it plays to me like a reveal.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the whole album to me doesn't sound like glorification of that stuff. It almost hits me as like tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I think she's
that
definitely
like obsession of it. And she's like calling people out about it.
Yeah.
Platinum Blonde Baby, is that the song title? It's all about how she was
Bleach
Blonde Baby. Yeah. I was listening to No Doubt earlier, and they have a song called Platinum Blonde Life, I think.
Oh,
anyways,
you think they were like parallel to each other? Like,
No.
oh, okay, no connection.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they were related at all. But yeah, that one's like all about how she was born completely perfect.
Yes, and everything she does, she'll bleed pink if you cut her and stuff. Yeah, and she's describing herself as like a Barbie doll, or one would imagine.
Yeah.
So interesting. So I didn't listen to this in order, I assume then.
No, it doesn't sound like it, but carry on.
Okay. Next up was Moshi Moshi.
Yeah.
Which this just, it was a little jarring after hearing these three like obsession songs or, computer, I'm going to steal your soul type music, to go to Moshi Moshi, which is fun. It's more like a K-pop type song.
Yeah. Very upbeat.
Yeah. Upbeat, fun. I just wrote little K-pop. And again, bit jarring, but knowing that I didn't listen to the right order, that makes sense.
That one is so poppy that when it does, it's so hard to discuss the genre, and but it is so it's such a like pop anthem.
Yeah,
it's so bubbly.
Yes,
that when it comes in, it does sound in contrast to the last track, regardless. But I think it does make sense where it is in the album. But it's a little bit. It's like so over the top, goofy. Almost.
It is. Yeah, it is like. Again, I feel like if I was in Japan, I would hear a song like this.
Totally,
as you're like walking through a store or whatever.
Yeah.
So she captured the Japan feel for sure. Bleach Blonde Baby. I'm torn if this is my favorite song in the album or not. The hook, so good. But there's one later that I think will be my winner. But
okay.
The visualization of the words for this one was weird. Like she said, she had eyelashes that were like 10 feet long.
Yeah, 7, I think.
But, and like. The thought of what she would look like as she described herself, but also the creepiness that's what people strive for perfection,
right?
Is like, it's just weird.
Yeah,
it's just weird.
Yeah.
But again, still wicked enjoyable.
Yeah, totally.
Next up, My Microphone. Very 80s vibe.
Yeah,
I felt like I was listening to like a workout tape or something. And she's just looking for a microphone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels urgent. Like she is getting nervous. When does this show up in the album?
That one is no, that's earlier. Track 4.
Oh, okay.
It's got a little bit more of like a punk guitar lead, and it's like, it's a little more driven than the rest of the other songs. Yeah. And then Computer Boy. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Moshi Moshi comes right after that one.
Oh, okay.
So the contrast is still like pretty strong there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Did you like My Microphone?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Yep. Again, most of these I really enjoyed the hook, and that's usually like a big part of the song that I enjoy.
Yep.
Is like, can I like hum it later? Can I like remember how it goes and stuff?
Yeah.
But yeah, My Microphone was good. And there's like a part where she does a breakdown later, and she's like trying to like baby talk the microphone to get that like you and I could be the best in the world. And I'm like, what happened here? But that's what I love, how like out of the box it goes, and how much you know of pop or like listen to it, and then you hear something like this and you're like, well, I kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I like it.
Yeah.
My Style. This one goes back to the creepy obsession. And I wrote the line, Poppy is your best friend, will break your neck. And that one was so like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, she talks about like the obsession of like her style versus us, and like she's talking to us directly, and it's like, that's your style, being obsessed with me and like praying to me and stuff. So as a listener, I'm like, is she talking to us or is she talking to like the collective society?
That part caught me too. I was like, all right, what is she saying here?
Yeah.
And then that whole like hook with the computer voice behind it too.
Yep.
That's like, Poppy is an object.
Yeah.
Poppy will break your neck. I was like, what?
I was like, who is she with? Fuzzy, I would say my least favorite of the album.
Sure.
Still good.
Yeah.
Still good. Yeah, that's all I have. It sounds like a radio song.
Yeah.
And my favorite song of the album.
I'm ready.
Software Upgrade.
Really? That's your favorite?
Yep.
Wow.
I love how the song goes like off and on and on and off and off and
yes,
and like
I like
how
that too.
How it felt like I don't know, a crescendo might not be the right word, but it just felt like I was like ascending to the climax of the song.
Yeah.
And then when you get to like the chorus, I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one, I just really liked how it all came together. Not necessarily the words per se, because it just sounds like she just had a really bad boyfriend that she needs to update. But yeah, and that was the last song for me. I think that was everything.
That is the last song before Pop Music, which is a more low key, just like cap to the album, basically. So she had one album before that's just instrumental. It's called Music to Sleep To. And then I haven't listened to I Disagree is so good.
And what style is I Disagree, like genre?
It It's all over the place.
Okay.
Like the first song is literally, so it's more like, it's got some like metal and new metal leanings, lots of heavy guitars. She started screaming on that record. Unless she did on the album before, and I just don't know. I'm not educated on the record before that.
Yeah.
But she has since done, she goes back and forth with like, she just does whatever she wants. She did a cover of Spit by Kitty, who, if you're unfamiliar, had a massive new metal presence at the beginning. Was it 99? I think that came out, but it's an old song that I love, and she crushed it. The cover is one of my favorite covers I've ever heard, and it's super heavy and fast. And then the new album has a lot more like pop sensibility, kind of back to. It's definitely different than Computer, but it's I'd say it's more pop than it is any of the like recent heavier stuff she's done.
Okay.
So yeah, I disagree though. Like the first song literally has like, it's got a part that sounds like a 60s like Beatles-esque song, but it starts with a breakdown.
Yeah.
And lots of heavy guitars, and then it has like an upbeat, sounds like an anime intro, like all in one song. It's
freaking
wild.
crazy,
I'll show you afterwards. But I'm glad you like this one.
Yeah, super keeper.
Yeah.
Super.
I agree. If you're into pop music at all, what's funny is I think Poppy, a lot of her art in general has a lot to do with like calling out obsession and things like that. But she has a very obsessive fan base.
Oh, does she?
Which is funny.
Yeah.
But I kind of get like, she's created this like icon of herself.
Yeah, and being so weird, I think there's a ton of people who gravitate towards that,
Totally,
like her
yeah.
YouTube videos. Because she had, what was it, like a 10-minute video or a 30-minute video or whatever of her reading the Bible. Like she just sits there in a white room reading the Bible. And then she has like a 40-second video of her talking to like her mannequin friend. And like the videos are so abstract and out there. But I think a lot of people do gravitate towards it because they're like, this is weird.
It is weird and it's very cool. I mean, I typically like anything like that that's just like, I can't really place what it is. Because I don't feel like we have enough of that anymore. Like not a lot feels new anymore. And I think she's, carved herself a space in music and art in general where you're like, what's she going to do next? And that's really exciting. So if you like pop music, I would definitely check out that album. It's reminiscent in some parts of like the Owl City era to me.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And like Ice. Or Lights.
So I didn't know if you knew Lights.
Yes.
Lights was totally who I thought of with some of those choruses because I was really into Lights for a while.
I only know them or her because you really like.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I was super into her. So that era of like sort of electronic based pop music, I'd say this album is reminiscent of. And actually, what year did this come out? It was 2017.
2017.
Yeah. So that's Poppy.Computer. Definitely a keeper. And also, if you're just like a fan of music in general, I'd say Poppy's like a ride you want to get on because it's like, it's just so interesting.
Yeah.
Every album is just like, why did she say this? Why does it sound like this?
What is going on?
It's super fun. I'm glad you like that.
Yes. Great suggestion.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're gonna do next?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. I'm gonna skim through Andy's list and see if there's anything that's calling out to me.
I will say that is I looked through it and it's stuff that like I think you will enjoy.
Yeah.
Experiencing.
I see.
Not all of it is gonna like push your limits, But then I'll send you some weird grindcore stuff.
I'll be like, great. Here we go.
Are we done?
I think that's it.
Wow.
I want to end on a Poppy.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. This episode was like a roller coaster.
Dude, we're all over the place.
All over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? Why'd you do that? Okay. It's been episode number 273. Thank you guys for watching or listening, whatever you're about. We appreciate you guys being here. Shout out to our patrons. Thank you guys for being patrons. We love everyone who hangs out with us here at the Keep Up Podcast. Tim.
Yes.
Is going to do something called End Babble here in a minute. But before that, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
You guys can find me at Collection Revolution on Instagram, on Twitch, on that other site that probably has me somewhere, Twitter, the usual dumb spots where we have to sit because social media controls our life and we're all stuck in a construct. Brett, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Instagram at This Drink I Like It. That's my personal Instagram. We can hang out there, or you can click the link tree and find all my other stuff.
Sick.
Tim.
Yes.
Your theme for End Babble is Big Blue Spaghetti Melon.
Okay.
Love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Goodbye.
The sky raises above young Jonathan. Jonathan remembered a poem from his youth. Oh, big blue sky, how you glide into my fries. But poor sad little Jonathan, he forgot his fries to perform the ritual. All he had was his mother's melon spaghetti. A great meal where spaghetti is made within a melon, and it absorbs the juices. And Jonathan said, well, I shall try this with my mother's melon spaghetti. And he places it upon the altar, surrounded by many dead bodies of all the people who told him, no, Jonathan, this won't be completed, and he shall summon the great Stolly. And Johnny puts the spaghetti melon on the altar and says, great big blue sky, take me. And so it did. And little Jonathan was gone. And all that remained were the bodies and his mother's melon spaghetti. And so I'll leave you with this. Weird food combinations are everywhere. I don't know if melon spaghetti is the next best thing, but I'll let you know. Eat it while you can, because Jonathan might find you.